Money and power can buy a lot of things: fast cars, private islands, and even influence. But what happens when billionaires think they're above the law? Today, we're diving into the stories of 10 billionaires who ended up behind bars, some for fraud, others for corruption, and a few for crimes even more shocking. 10. Bernie Madoff, the king of the Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff was once one of the most respected names on Wall Street. He built an empire, promising investors high returns. But it was all a lie, a massive Ponzi scheme worth $65 billion. When the truth came out, thousands of people lost their life savings. Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison. The lesson: if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. 9. Elizabeth Holmes, the fake science billionaire. Elizabeth Holmes claimed she had invented a revolutionary blood test that could diagnose diseases with just a few drops of blood. Investors poured in millions, making her one of the youngest self-made billionaires. But there was one problem: the technology didn't work. Holmes was convicted of fraud and sentenced to over 11 years in prison. Moral of the story: fake it till you make it. Only works when you actually make it. 8. Jeffrey Epstein, predator billionaire. A billionaire with connections to the world's most powerful figures, Epstein built his fortune in finance. But behind the luxury, he was running a horrifying human trafficking ring. Arrested in 2019, he was found dead in his jail cell under suspicious circumstances. His case remains one of the most controversial in recent history. 7. Joe Low, the 1MDB scandal mastermind. Joe Low wasn't a household name, but he was the mastermind behind one of the biggest financial frauds ever, the 1MDB scandal. He stole billions from Malaysia's government fund and spent it on luxury properties, Hollywood films, and extravagant parties. When authorities caught up, he fled and remains a fugitive to this day. If found guilty, he could face decades in prison. 06. Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto king's collapse. Sam Bankman-Fried was once the face of cryptocurrency innovation. His company, FTX, was worth $32 billion until it all came crashing down. Investigations revealed he had misused customer funds, leading to his arrest. Once hailed as the next Warren Buffett, he now faces over 100 years in prison. The crypto world will never be the same. 5. Alan Stanford, the billion-dollar bank fraud. Alan Stanford ran a global bank and promised high returns to investors. But, like Madoff, it was all a scam. His Ponzi scheme cost investors $7 billion. Sentenced to 110 years in prison, Stanford's story is another warning that greed knows no limits. 4. Ike Batista, from riches to ruins. Ike Batista was once Brazil's richest man, but his empire was built on corruption. He bribed officials and manipulated stock markets until the law caught up with him. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison, proving that no amount of money can buy freedom from justice. 3. Conrad Black, the media mogul's downfall. A billionaire media tycoon, Conrad Black built a publishing empire. But greed got the best of him. He was caught embezzling millions from his own company. Sentenced to 6.5 years, his story is a reminder that white-collar crime doesn't always go unpunished. 2. Martin Shkreli, the pharma bro who played too much. Martin Shkreli became infamous for hiking the price of a life-saving drug by 5,000%. But that wasn't what sent him to jail. He was convicted of securities fraud and sentenced to 7 years in prison. His arrogance made him one of the most hated figures in business history. 1. Raj Rajaratnam, the billionaire who cheated the stock market. Raj Rajaratnam was a hedge fund genius until he got caught in one of the biggest insider trading scandals ever. Using illegal tips, he made $63 million in profit, but the FBI was listening. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison, proving that even Wall Street's elite aren't untouchable. What do all these stories have in common? Greed, corruption, and the belief that wealth means invincibility. But the law, sooner or later, catches up. Some of these billionaires lost everything. Others are still running. The question is, who will be next? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments who do you think will be the next billionaire to fall.